Schroeder, I've liked you since the moment I met you.
Lucy, I've disliked you from the moment I've met you.
You must really love playing music.
No, I really love when you're not talking.
I bet you think of me as like a dream that lingers on.
And on, 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 and on.
Hey Schroeder, do you think Beethoven's ever watched Aftershock and thought of asking out the beautiful girl who anchors it?
I don't think Beethoven's ever seen Aftershock.
Well, here's your chance to do something he's never done.
I've already thought about doing things he's never done.
Coming up on this special Valentine's Day edition of Aftershock, Kim tests the Bay's ability to spot a couple.
Bianca features a student with an aspiring future in art.
And much, much more.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Alex Lamb.
And I'm Nicole Borman, and this special Valentine's Day edition of Aftershock starts now. When it's this time of the year, the media floods with ads, episodes, and movies that almost everyone can relate to.
The key word there being almost. I looked into how the LGBTQ plus community is represented during Valentine's Day. Whether on the shelves of stores and shopping malls, or in the energy of students in school halls, even on the screen through the fourth wall, the rose petals and chocolate boxes of this time of year have populated our environment. Valentine's Day is adored by all, and love is in the air. However, not everyone feels embraced by the warmth of this season.
For a queer person growing up, it can definitely be harmful if you don't see representation in the media for Valentine's Day and things like that, because depending on how young you might be, you might feel especially strange, being like, oh, I'm attracted to the same sex, but I've never seen that before. And so it really, especially if you don't know anything about being gay or being queer, then it's very isolating. You have no idea what's going on, and it reinforces the idea that something's wrong with you.
With Valentine's Day being all about love, and love being a societally controversial subject for the gay community, representation is more important than ever.
Queer representation in media is just, it normalizes it. Oh, so there's someone in the media, maybe on my favorite TV show or an ad that I saw that also likes the same sex. Maybe it's not weird, especially if you portray it in a normal sense and not like it's an oddity. You don't like make a spectacle out of it.
While progress has absolutely been made for the queer community, several barriers still need to be broken before candy hearts can be cherished by all.
It took me so long to be like, oh, like I am gay, because like maybe if I would have saw something or like seen things in the media that were like, hey, like this is okay, like I probably would have just like not thought anything about it and be like, yeah, like this is normal. But I think it's definitely now for younger generations, it's definitely better. But I still think there's a lot more that we can improve on.
In the holiday all about love, we must remember that alternate expressions on this love has not been and sometimes is still not accepted. So normalization of the gay community in media is very important. Alex Land, CB TV.
In 2016, Barry and Honey Sherman were some of the richest people in Canada. Barry's net worth alone was estimated to be around $3.7 billion, and this was mainly generated from his business called Apotex. It was at Apotex where Barry and Honey met, fell in love, had 4 kids, and made a reputation of their own. Once their children moved out of the house, they decided that they didn't want to live in a mansion anymore, so they bought an estate in downtown Toronto and decided to renovate. Elise, the realtor, tried getting into contact with Honey Sherman, but wasn't able to. Nevertheless, she went on with their house tours, and when she and a couple clients walked into their pool area, discovered something horrible. Warning, this content is for mature audiences and viewer discretion is advised. When the realtor first walked into the pool room, she didn't know what she was looking at. There were 2 bodies hanging by leather belts from a low railing, so she ushered the clients out of the house as professionally and as fast as she could. Another hour and a half had passed after the bodies had been discovered, then Elise finally decided to call the police, who rushed paramedics and first responders to the scene. Upon inspection, detectives said that Honey and Barry's death seemed suspicious, but that they weren't looking into any suspects. There are many theories about the way this case could have gone, but Barry's cousin, Carrie Winter, had very public and personal issues with Barry Sherman. Following Barry's death, Carrie Winter was a person of interest and even took a lie detector test to prove his innocence. During the interview, Carrie Winter stated that Barry Sherman asked him to, and I quote, whack my wife. And Carrie even admitted that he had hired someone to do that. Winter then talked about how he would murder his cousin and then sit and wait for the police to arrive. Detectives may not see Carrie Winter as a suspect, but they should definitely look into his funds to see if something strange happened. While this case is still unsolved, the detectives, media, and the Sherman family have been avidly searching for answers for who killed Barry and Honey. Was it a mob hit, or was it a business deal gone wrong? Or maybe it was Carrie Winter's. What do you think happened? I'm Morgan Haggett, CBTV.
I know we've only known each other for about a month, but you bring a joy to me that others just can't match. So, I guess what I'm here to ask is, will you be my Valentine?
Ew.
While his intentions were pure and his confession was brief, young Niall found himself facing the 5 stages of grief. "You're kidding, right?" cried poor Niall, as he was forced to face stage 1, denial. Soon Niall, heart heavy like an anchor, used violence to satisfy stage 2, anger.
I did nothing wrong. Anyone will get rejected.
Stage 3, bargaining, is what Niall just attempted. No amount of emotional suppression could prevent Niall from stage 4, depression. While the outcome wasn't his preference, young Niall has come to terms with stage 5, acceptance.
And for those of you interested, I am free February 14th.
Many parents put loads of pressure on their kids to become students in STEM with a secure future.
However, Bianca got to know one Cypress Bay student whose family dynamic is quite the opposite.
On the corner of Orion Lane, the Perez household looks like any other in the neighborhood. But it's on the inside where the heart of this family lies. Sabrina Perez, a student at Cypress Bay High School, looks like your everyday teenager.
We are from Caracas, Venezuela, and we moved here 10 years ago. I wanted to give my girls a better shot at life.
I love where I'm from. I love being from Venezuela, but it's just I have to keep contact with my culture from a distance.
But the Perez family isn't your typical story of searching for that American dream.
Instead of like saying, yeah, my parents work a 9 to 5, I have no idea what they do. I love being able to say that my parents work with art. I love saying my mom's a baker, a cake decorator. I love saying that my dad's a music/sound engineer.
It's very challenging. It's very stressful. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, you don't know what your next project is going to be like, so it's always a little of an adventure, you know? You never get a dull moment.
Well, it's always hectic. If it's like a weekend where my mom is working and my dad just happens to be working on a project, no one's going to rest.
But the love for art extends far past the walls of this lively home.
I've basically come to the realization that I also want to incorporate art in my life. And it's funny because my family from both sides were very artistic, but each one of us in our own way. So like my mom's a baker, my dad's a music producer, I want to do film. I like it because we just kind of find our own way through art. And so I just kind of knew that I wanted to find my way too.
And without a dull moment, this family truly hits the sweet spot for any creative outlet. Bianca Jaramillo, CB TV.
Good evening.
And welcome to the Fancy Man's Guide on Doing Things.
Well, today I am joined by the fancy lady
To teach the essentials
of romance. Want to ask your special someone on a date?
Avoid asking them in person.
Instead, write them a letter in your finest cursive to open their evening.
Aww. Indecipherable. Want to get a gift for your sweetie?
Avoid getting something from the heart.
Try crafting something from the art, the fanciest form of love.
Oh dear, just beautiful. Cooking a meal for your one and only.
Stray away from making their favorite feast.
Instead, watch the Fancy Man's Guide to Food Preparation on Aftershock episode 421.
I myself found it quite tasteful.
Thank you for joining me.
And thank you for letting me join.
And thank you for tuning into our show. And have a lovely evening.
Here's this week's Lightning Athletics.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Michael Orlando, and on this week's Lightning Athletics, Issa challenged me and my girlfriend to do some couples yoga. Here's how it went.
No, we're not gonna be able to do this. I think that was actually solid, actually.
Get up, get up! I'm stronger than Michael.
No. Okay, wait. I think we're on a track here. Okay.
No, jump. Let's do it again. I'm having fun. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
I don't see how people do this like normally. Okay.
Do legs up, leg down,
That doesn't count.
lift yourself.
Yeah, my back still kind of hurts from that one. Anyway, here's Matthew to talk about one of the best ball players in the league.
Jackie Robinson was an amazing baseball player, and he was the first black person to join the MLB. However, there's more to him than just that, and in honor of Black History Month, I'm going to be delving into his past. Born in 1919 in Georgia with 4 siblings and a single mother, Robinson didn't always have it easy. He grew up around poverty. He soon then moved to California and enrolled in John Muir High School. His education continued as he attended UCLA, finishing his degree and then moving to Hawaii to join the Honolulu Bears, a semi-professional football team. This only lasted shortly because he then joined the Army during World War II. After the war, he picked up a new hobby, which was baseball. And at the time, this sport was very segregated, so he was on the all-black league. He was then recruited by Branch Rickey, the president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, to integrate the MLB. He joined the all-white Montreal Royals, a farm team of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Joining this was very difficult for Jackie Robinson. Some of his teammates objected from him being on the team. People in the crowd would yell nasty things, and some would even send death threats to his family. Opposing teams threatened not to even play against the Dodgers, and some of the teammates threatened to sit out. Robinson was able to persevere, and he won the National League's Most Valuable Player Award and helped the Dodgers win the National League Pennant Award. And in 1955, he helped win the World Series. By the time he retired, he was the highest paying Dodgers player in history. Jackie Robinson was a huge inspiration, and his success opened the door for many black players. I'm Matthew Maycutt, CBTV.
Well, that's all for this week's Lightning Athletics. Make sure to tune in next week to see what's happening in the wide world of sports. I'm Michael Orlando, CBTV Sports.
Hey Alex, do you think we look like a couple?
Absolutely not. Why do you say that?
Because some people think we do. Kim asked around the Bay to see if people could guess who out of 4 CBTV members are couples.
What's up, Cypress Bay? My name's Kimberly Blum, and today I'll be seeing if you guys can play Matchmaker correctly and guess the 2 couples out of these 4 people. But the catch is, none of them are actually dating. Let's see how you guys do. You have to guess who's a couple, but you have to let me know your thought process while you're choosing.
Okay, so on this week's series of Anissa Guesses.
She's just like with all of them and he's with none. Maybe a throuple.
Nicole's with all of them?
A throuple. I don't know, I see a connection here. I
think you two are a couple.
I don't think any of you are a couple. I'm gonna be honest.
He looks kind of faithful, so I'm finna say these two are a couple.
Okay.
You know, black men don't cheat.
Hey, you gotta look at the height difference.
And then those two just look homeless together. So I feel like that just, works out together.
Yeah. So we have the little palm trees. Now look at the Crocs. We've got a cactus. The cactus is summer. Bada bing, bada boom relationship. They're married. They've been married since 2004.
Or plot twist. The girls are together. And the guys are together.
The two with the white shirts. Yeah. I mean, kiss her.
Plot twist. We're dating.
You see? Telling you, I know yes.
Maybe you guys aren't the best Cupid after all. Kimberly Blum, CBTV.
Well, that's all for this Valentine's Day edition of Aftershock.
If you want to watch previous episodes, check out our YouTube at Cypress Bay CBTV and follow all of our social medias. I'm Alex Land.
And I'm Nicole Borman. Thanks for watching.